come to this week already, okay? Look at this thing again. What is this guy trying to tell you on the almost end of the study already, right? I'm repeating the same thing all over again. Do you know what is this thing? Ice, right? It's not the ice that you eat ice. You know? Ice, not the ice, alright? So this is the accounting information system ICE, right? And it is clear, okay? It's supposed to be clear. AIS is a system, alright, that would help you to collect data, process it, and transform it into a report, right? Or get the output of the information. This is very clear. From the beginning until the end, all our focus of the chapters go back to this core. It's like you learn debit and credit, you know, the accounting, right? Accounting, you got learn debit and credit, right? So everything you go back to debit and credit, you know, right? No, right, yes, right. So similarly, AIS, everything will go back to this. We study on different processes. This one we have studied on different processes, right? Remember, those all the cycle, right? Yeah, payroll, revenue, we got expenditure, yeah? We got production, GL, and human resource, right? And then right, human resource and payroll, alright? And then we learn what some more? We learn on each and every one of these, the processes, right? Go into detail. Hopefully, if you go into a company, you know that a company will work following a sequence of steps of activities, alright? And then we learn on, first is activities, alright, it is built out of different activities, alright. Then we learn on what is the threads, right? Threads and internal control. This one is the midterm, alright, activity in the midterm. But the thread and control is in the final, okay? Remember, threads and internal control on the cycle, okay? Then we learn on the emerging technology, alright? How emerging technology can improve the processes, which is last week. Okay, so far so good? This is the story so far, alright? This is the story so far. You know, you watch a movie, you got like a story so far, right? We're still not finished with this yet. Today, we'll look into this part of the equation over here, okay? And we'll also look into this part of the equation, okay? Because all the while, we have been looking inside the process until our brain become processed, right? So now today we look into these two part of the AIS. Okay. Over here is the data, right? The data. So those days, alright, data is very simple, right? Data is very simple. It's the same lah. Those days and today also the same lah, right? Data is data lah, right? Where got data simple and data not simple? The changes is what happened. The changes is on the technology, right? You have a better technology today compared to yesterday. Correct or not? Correct me, I'm wrong, right? Today you have advanced technology. If you, yeah? if you go back 10 years ago, you will not have a smartphone. Have smartphone? Come out already, smartphone 10 years ago. Come out already, right? 20 years ago, right? 20 years ago, don't have yet, right? So only after that you have the smartphone, right? Similar with the computer. Last time, your computer space is maybe, but you are different generation, right? 2004, your generation. So your technology is already good technology, right? You didn't see the old computer, right? You got see the old computer? Oh, you still see the old computer? You was using the computer. During your small kid or now?
When I was around primary school.
Primary school. Oh, you all still see the old computer, the big one? Yeah? Yeah, the Kotak one, alright. Now they got mini computer already. They got all-in-one computer already, right? But that's not the point. The point is last time maybe you have only how much I remember. During my generation, right, you only have 1 GB, 2 GB of RAM.
Correct.
You know the processing speed, right? You know computer, right? Computer, there's RAM. RAM to is a random access memory lah. Alright, you learn this in your IT subject. Never mind, if you don't learn it, then you will know lah. Alright, it's basically how the computer can process it, but that's not the processing power. You know, the processing power goes back to the CPU, right? So whether you're using i3, if you use the Intel, right? Is it Intel? Core, right? Intel Core, right? Which computer you're using? Are you using i3, i5, or i7, or are you using AMD?
That time I use Pentium.
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 Windows Pentium. That is the Windows, right? But the processor.
Intel, but not before the i3 also.
Before the i3 one, right? The Intel Core Duo.
Something like that.
That is my generation, you know. My generation go before that. So even the processing speed is different those days and today. Now that's different, right? Data is still the same. Data, they still have the same thing. However, the processing speed is different. And as a result, in the advancement of the technology, this actually affect the data. Alright? It actually affect the data, how the data is being what? Over here is capture, right? How the data is being captured. With the advancement technology, it means better system, right? You have better system, better computer, then your computer can run more things, right? Can capture a lot of data. Betul? Is it correct? Whose computer is slow? Yeah? Those slow computer, right? You feel like you want to just bash the computer, right, when you are doing your assignment. Betul? So that is one of the thing. Better system, better hardware, you have a better processing speed. Then you can capture more. And of course, what is this one? Tin. Still. Storage lah, right? Storage. RAGE, right? Storage. Okay, still my English not pass. Don't follow my English. Alright? My English still not pass yet. Last time, compared the phone, you know, handphone, right? Smartphone. I think smartphone is your generation already, right?
Yes.
So last time maybe 64 GB, right? Storage. But now 256 GB, price also same already, right? So you can see that technology is being advanced more, and the storage is becoming bigger, and then it's more affordable. Can you see that? So what happened is the implication on the data, right? You will have a different type of data, different type, no, not different type, right? More like it enhances the data, all right? What about over here? Capture, storage, and then advancement in technology.
More efficient process.
Yes, more efficient process. The processing of the more efficient. All right. Last time you can only capture maybe it goes back related to this capture lah, right? It goes back to this capture. So can capture maybe 10 information. That's it. Your database already complete. You cannot go more table or more column, right? Because you will not have enough storage. Go back to the storage also. But now, with the advancement in the technology, it is more efficient. Okay, so as a result, the data today we see is what we call it the data, we call this the, what is this data? Yes, Arif, you're right. Big data, not Big Mama, you know. During my generation, this movie lah, you know. I think you don't know what I'm talking about lah. Big data, right? Now we have what we call big data. Big data is a new, not really new lah, but some term, alright, a concept that give rise due to the advancement in the technology. Okay, and this big data, alright, has a few characteristics. Alright, it has a few characteristics that we need to learn. Alright. Okay. Data, big data. Okay. You got what I'm trying to say? Due to technology advancement, we have the big data. And then now, big data has few characteristics. Right? We are going to learn the characteristic now, alright? So we have the characteristic. And this is the first characteristic. Of course. What is this? Big data has actually 3 characteristics. Okay? In the beginning, when they first introduced big data, you heard of big data before, this term?
Yes. IT.
No. Yes, IT. In IT you learn. Oh, interesting. Your friend said no. in IT you have learned this subject, this chapter on big data. Yeah, forget already. Very traumatizing. I hope I don't traumatize you further. The big data first character is, yes, what we call, oh yeah, it's actually all start with V. They just want to make it fun, you know, all start with V. The first one is what we call the volume, alright? Big data is generated with massive volume. So we got starting from what? I forgot the smallest We got byte, right? Byte, 10 kilobyte, right? Right, byte. This is storage, right? Bytes, and then we got kilobyte, megabyte, right? Gigabyte. Then we got what is it after that? Yeah, terabyte, right? Then this one question mark already lah, because you don't use up to here, is it? We all see only terabyte, right? Whose computer is 1 terabyte? Storage. Whose computer is 4 terabyte? Not what? 4 terabyte You know, even your phone, right, got 1 terabyte storage already, right? Are you going to buy the 1 terabyte storage? Yes, if you got money. Of course you got money lah. Next, how many years more? 2 more years, then you will go out and work already, right? So yeah, you got money and then you will buy it. During that time, maybe it's beyond terabyte already lah. You buy 9 terabyte. Interesting, your friend. Of course, the first V is volume, alright? To differentiate or to say that this data is a big data, we say the volume. Alright, we look at the volume. If the volume is big, massive, then it can be considered as a big data. Alright? Okay. Now what we have over here, the second one? Yeah? 3? Speed. Speed change to V is what? Yes, velocity. Oh. Yeah, right. Give yourself a clap. Yeah, that's good. So, velocity, this one, look at the data generated. We talked about the generation of data per second. Alright. So data is generated so fast. Alright. And it is so fast, it is also one of the characteristics of a big data. Alright. Example is the social media. Alright. People just tweet now X already, right? People just X, and then people just what is your generation? TikTok, Instagram, TikTok. Oh, during my generation, your age is only Facebook, Facebook and YouTube. Now your generation is Instagram and TikTok. What is it? 3? X. Oh, X, right? X. Twitter is last time. Now they changed to X. So the second characteristic is velocity. Alright? It means this big data, compared to the traditional, the speed of generation is very fast per second. Then we have this one. What is this? Big data also have a characteristic of, yes, correct, variety, which means it has a lot of form. They call it structure, right? Structure. We got the one in the grid form, which is structured, the one that is unstructured data. It comes in a huge varieties. Alright, so it is a variety. I'm speaking out the obvious, right? You got what I'm trying to say? Am I making you weird? No, right? This is the main 3V, all right, of big data. Main 3V. All right, that's why your friend is pointing V, right? Yes, this is the main 3V, all right, of big data. But after that, I don't know who right, who come up with this idea. You know, maybe I should go and Google and see. Can you try Google and see who come up with this idea? Big data. Who come up with this idea, big data? I'm curious. I wasn't aware. Let me see. God, I got people say John. So you ask ChatGPT, is it? No, Google So somehow they come up with this tree to distinguish between the old and the new, not old, the traditional data and the big data. And after time goes by, all right, people start to add in more characteristics to this big data, right? They say that big data shouldn't only stop at this 3 character, right? It should have more characteristics of this big data. So we come over here, we have also the character of, what is this? V, also still V, alright? They still want to stick with the V. Big data, this is verifiable, right? Veracity, alright? Veracity is another word for the data is verified. It is accurate. The big data now also has to have inclusive of this characteristic of accurate. Alright, it cannot be false, cannot be spam, it cannot be some information that is fake. Okay? So no fake. No fake data, flash info. Okay. And okay, what is it? Value, right? Also, big data has another characteristic of value. All right. It is again valuable in terms of how you can use the data to generate some valuable things, which we'll look later in the data analytics. Alright, you can use the big data to create value to your company. Okay, and finally, we have the 6th one. Alright, so far we have 5 only. Alright, you also have the 6th one, which is, what is this? Variability. Alright, it means it will have different outcome. Alright, okay. Okay, yeah, maybe I go through this case study over here. Alright, then I can give you for a short break. Okay? Before we go into the data analytics. Is it okay? Good. This is very simple case. Basically, in exam, there's possibility that you will be asked in a given situation to discuss or to identify what kind of characteristic of this big data that the case scenario is illustrating. Simple, right? Okay, so don't worry, this one is also in the study kit already. I am just extracting one of it. It's already uploaded to the, but you can still take if you want, because why not, right? that's the reason you buy the phone. Over here we have this. Go through with you very fast, okay? Come to this kind of question. First thing of all, you straight away go and check what is the question requirement. All right, the question requirement is which characteristic, and then don't stop at just identifying the which characteristic. All right, you also need to explain why. Okay, so make sure in your exam, make sure you read carefully the questions requirement. All right, if the question requirement call you to identify and explain, then you need to identify and then explain. If the question just call you to list only, then you need list. All right, but most of my questions will be identify and explain. So come to this one. All right, we have a multinational retail chain processes millions of transactions daily across thousands of stores and its e-commerce platform. The data generated includes sales records, inventory updates, and customer loyalty points. So from here, what we can see, what kind of characteristic will come out over here. So let me just volume, right? Volume, because of processes millions of transactions daily. Okay, maybe you can highlight this one. No, to go like this. E-commerce platform. All right, this sentence states that the characteristic of volume, right? Okay. Then just take back this one, rephrase. All right. Rephrase the question. Just in case if you cannot, then you don't copy back the whole questions. All right. Just rephrase, take part of it. Then generated include. So if over here include different, this is the variety. All right. Where? VA. Forgot how to spell already. Brain cannot work. VA. Yes. Yes.
When we say us to explain, the explain examples we just say explain, right?
Okay.
So we just say what is the characteristic, and then we just paraphrase from the.
Yes. And then you can first define what is variety. Variety means that there are different types of data structure. Okay. Then based on the case scenario, you can say that the example given over here is sales records, inventory updates, and customer loyalty points. All right. Similar with the volume. All right. So you discuss volume. Volume is the massiveness of the data generated, and based on the case, you can see that this company process millions of transactions daily. All right.
So that means an example we write down volume, and then you full stop, and then you say under volume we write down massive volume of massive amount of data generated.
Yes.
Stop. And the second one you write down, for example, the paraphrase of this question.
Yes. Okay. Okay, Rajin. Huh? Confusing. Let us try another one more here. Alright. Real-time fraud detection. Alright, over here is another example. A financial institution monitor thousands of credit card transactions per second to detect fraud. Transactions are analyzed in real time using machine learning algorithm to identify anomalies, right? Such as purchases in different countries within minutes. Okay, which characteristic of big data are demonstrated in the case scenario? How are they relevant to the fraud detection? So anyone want to give us a guess? Yeah? Velocity. You double down on your answer? Where is the key term that make you decide this is transaction per second, right? This one. So this is the keyword that guide you into assuming that this is a big data. Okay? Clear? You all okay? Are you all with me? Yes. Alright. Lastly, we have over here is customer feedback analysis. Okay? A company collects customer feedback from multiple sources, including structured survey responses, semi-structured chat logs, and unstructured social media posts. The data is then analyzed to determine customer sentiment about a new product. So, okay, Rajin, you can get what is it? Processing, right? Processing. It's like the one that we have been learning. That's why I say you learn process too much until your brain being processed, right? What is this one? Where? Variety, right? Variety. What's the keyword? Yes, multiple sources. Alright, of course you can highlight the whole thing. Alright. So that's all for data, big data. That's all for the big data. Is it clear? Alright.